Hey, how's it going? What's up, guys? My name is Rez, aka Lane London, and this is my boy.
What's up, guys? My name is Misha. Good to have you all today here.
And we are here to talk to you guys about, I think, where the concept of the back-to-back and what that means and how to go about it. I think mentally, technically, and from like an emotional is a weak word, but from a vibe perspective, kind of. So, like as we talk, a lot of this stuff we're gonna talk about today, we haven't even talked about it. We just kind of feel a lot of things that we do, but there are things that we did like at the beginning, I think, that are really important that we want to talk about. And like if you have a question when we say it, just raise your hand. Like we're not gonna do it at the end. Like let's just roll because we're gonna do a bunch of different topics. Let me start it. Let's start. So we should talk about the history of it.
Might you start introduce yourself? Yeah. Well, a little bit about us. I'm the newbie kind of the duo. I started my career 4 years ago. Pretty recent. The way we met, we actually met at Space. During the music week.
That is right.
During Drumco party.
You're right.
And basically, I was like really liking Rez's sound. I saw him a few times open for Green Velvet. I remember at soundcheck, and I was like, I like this guy's sound from the most old people in DC that I've seen. So I was like, hey man, like I want to learn something from you. Like I'm new to DJing, but like I believe in my taste, and like I just wanted to learn, And basically, when I started, I was working in nightlife before I became a DJ, and then I was just eager to learn, and a lot of people didn't really want to share the knowledge with me, which kind of sucked. There was a few friends that helped me like with the transitions and getting some music to get me going. So he actually invited me to come to one of his gigs, and that's how we met. And then I had a proposal for him. I told him like, can you help me get better with my mixing, and I'm gonna teach you kickboxing because I used to be a professional fighter. So that's how we actually like started hanging out. Like we did a kickboxing session, and we came to my house and like had the decks, and we were like, let's change some music and stuff, And then
Well, I remember that story a little differently. So Misha says it, Misha says it like it's a proposal. The way I remember it, I was like, bro, I saw him kickboxing with the chick. I was like, that chick kicked my ass. And I was like, I need to learn how to kick ass. So I asked him, he's like, come practice. And we go practice. And he's like, why don't you, bro, come to my place. It's right down the street. We'll have a protein shake. And I walk in. And all his equipment is set up in the middle of the living room. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. He's like, oh, yeah, dude. You want to spin a couple? And he's like, yeah. And then his girlfriend, Ivana, raise your hand. Yeah. This is the backbone of the group. She was just making dinner, we were practicing and chilling. And then he was playing tracks. I was like, this motherfucker has some heavy shit. I was like, I better ally with them before it becomes competition. No. But then I think it was just from there, man. And it was just kind of slowly. Right?
Then called him basically, and it was a tough time for everybody. That's when we kind of started our parties. It was actually during COVID. I had 2 speakers in my trunk, and we would just we had an art gallery that we found after Joe Biden won. It was like a big celebration. The whole city was on fire. It was amazing. And everybody was celebrating.
That was high class nasty, right?
Yeah.
And then we found this art gallery in the heart of DC, and we started throwing afters there, and the whole city was there. It was pretty sick. It was like back to the roots of electronic music. It was, just about the music, the friendships, like the energy, the vibes.
20, 30 people sometimes.
It would start like 10, 15 people and like 200 people. It was pretty sick, honestly. And our first high class nasty party was we rented a house from our friend, the Godfather.
Shout out to Alex Suarez. I like that.
And we threw a party there, and like the whole city was there, and it was amazing. And the second one was at a strip club, which has never been done before in DC. And we literally set up a DJ booth between 2 like stripper poles. And
Archie's, right?
It was an Archibald's, yeah. And we had like dancers, and it was like it was really cool. It was just something different. That's where it kind of all started, and now we're Factory 93 Insomniac residents. we built our brand like we headlined the Project Glow Festival 2 years in a row on main stage with our party and like as solo artists. And we have a residency at pretty much all of the clubs in DC, which is pretty cool.
You have your own label?
And recently, yeah, thank you. And recently we started a label, High Class Nasty, and our first release, hit number 2 in tech house releases on Beatport. So we were super proud of that. Thank you guys, thank you. So I mean, it's like High Class Nasty. We basically saw it as we thought that this city was missing something. Me personally, I was always going to like Miami or New York to party, to hear the music that I like, and we wanted to bring the sound that we thought at the time the city was lacking, and I think we did a good job of doing that, and I think it started like a avalanche of like parties and DJs, and we motivated a lot of people, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, DC is a pretty cool scene right now.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like a good segue into like starting the concept of the back-to-back, because like from that story, like so just so you can understand, like Misha and I are really close friends. Like we've been through so much shit. Like we've literally, I mean, I've been DJing for like 15, 20 years before this, but like now it's just starting to pick up, right? And it's like, what is it? I kind of had to restart again with Misha, like when COVID happened, because we didn't know what the fuck was gonna happen. Like we had no idea. And we were just so stupid. We're just like, let's keep gear in our car and DJ equipment in our car. And the moment everyone says the P word, which is party, like we're gonna pull up. Bar About Wednesday, was it Bar About Wednesdays or Bar About Tuesday?
Tuesdays,
Wow. What a time. Yeah, so I wrote down some talking points on my phone. So give me a second real quick. All right, preparation. Okay. So yeah, so we're gonna talk about like how we prepare, like how we actually technically DJ, and kind of how we when a set is over. Okay, we'll get there when we talk about it. Okay, so like when you're about to back, like collecting music on a solo level, right? Like so, this is kind of important because I think a lot of people like make this mistake a lot. Like I think they don't understand who they're playing with, and they think, oh, like it's my time when I'm playing. That's the totally fucking wrong way to think about back-to-backing. Like when you back-to-back, the mentality is like, here's this guy or girl, or whatever your pronoun is. What is it? Here's this person, and like we are associated together. Like people aren't even technically going to know who's playing the fucking song. Like you have to remember that. So it's like really, 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 really important that you try to be as cohesive as possible. And Misha totally has a sound on a solo level, and I totally have a sound on a solo level. And it's like we both know what the other one does, what we bring. I don't know, like what do you call that middle ground? It's kind of like knowing what the other person does, and like I don't want to say the word compromise because I don't feel like you and I ever really compromise. Like, but there's definitely tracks I know that I'm like, oh, here's a vibey track that's like banging or rolling like a techno song, right?
Compliment.
Yeah, compliment.
Yeah, compliment. That's the word. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you? But yeah, so like when I'm hanging out with Misha, I know I'm gonna play with Misha. I know what he does. Like I'm very knowledgeable about it. Then I'm also like, well, what can I do to either accentuate him, or when he does something, how can I like platform off him? Because I'm like, okay, like one thing Misha always does in our sets is like Misha loves to have a techno section. I've never announced, and I'm always like, fuck, did I prepare any techno? Now I have like an ejector like playlist pack of like 5 tracks. I'm like, if he goes techno, break this glass. But like I know, but now I know what to like do in that scenario because he does that, and I keep building and building and building on it, you know, because like I'm sure we all have people that we like to back with in the city, and like it's all about synergy. Like how can you be? I know the two of us know we're really good by ourselves, but we're like legendary when we're together. Like we just know it. Oh, come on, yeah, what you got?
So like you understand his style so much by just seeing so many of his solo shows, right? Like you have to.
Of course.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, to be fair,
I hadn't actually.
I feel like we had good chemistry from the start.
Yeah.
Which is also doesn't happen that often, right? Like I mean, I had back-to-backs with a lot of people, and I mean, because like I like to play a lot of different genres, I was able to play with a lot of different people. And it's also cool to break out of your genre and like change it up because you get bored, obviously. There's amazing music everywhere.
So how do you adapt when you're back-to-backing with someone you've never played with before?
I mean, basically, it's like just like when you're meeting somebody, like you see what they're doing, you see like what's their style, you see what they're going for, you see what's the energy of their tracks. Like like some DJs, they're more about setting up the vibe and keeping the vibe going. Some DJs are about like dropping hammers, like we would say, So it's like if I'm playing with somebody who's playing like a vibey, like a sexy, like type of like tracks, and like I'm not just gonna play some bangers, dark, and like I'm gonna try to complement their style and
With a sexy banger.
with a sexy banger, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's really important not to see it as competition and like, oh, I'll show it, I'm gonna play the better track, and
Yeah.
like, because then it's super important to build that chemistry if you can. If you can't, it's fine. You're not always gonna have chemistry with everybody. It's normal. But I mean, it's very important to let the egos go, I would say. And I mean, it sounds like a cliche maybe, but we're all there for the music, and for the love of the music. So for me, it's always like I want to see the guy that I'm playing with, or the girl. I want to see that they're having a fun time with me in the booth. Like I want us to dance, I want us to laugh, I wanna surprise them with some cool, like impress your person that you're playing with, but like impress them with a song. Don't like, oh, I'm gonna play better than you, stuff like that. I mean, I think that's important. Like he would say, like he would like not try to play a banger. He would set me up so I can play a banger, stuff like that. I don't know what else.
Yeah, like like you guys ever see DJ sets and it's like you can always tell when it's like this DJ playing and the other DJ is playing, like that should not happen in a back-to-back. And why that's happening is usually one person isn't really dropping their ego. And don't get me wrong, let me say this, the whole like competitive part, I'm gonna play a better song. There's like rises and falls like to the energy of it, because there's a point definitely in the set when we're both chill and Misha's playing heaters and I go, fuck you, bro, I'm gonna fucking top you on this one. And just drop one. But like in a brotherly way.
There's always a healthy competition.
Yeah, healthy competition. Yeah, for sure. Because that's the other thing. So like in terms of collecting music, like a lot of duos share USBs. Misha and I do not tell each other what we have on our USBs. Even like when we practice ever so often, we never show everyone everything. Like, cause we kind of want to surprise each other too, right? Yeah, I think that's kind of. Oh, is there any questions you guys have? Let me try to see if I missed anything else. How do we practice? Oh, how do we communicate? Oh, before we get. Oh, communication. Yeah.
Okay, that's important.
Yeah, like how do you communicate? Like when you're gonna go into a back-to-back. At the beginning, we definitely did talk a lot, right? We're like, what's the mood? What's the vibe? What's the crowd gonna be like?
It was more like a chaos.
Yeah. Why don't you talk from your perspective?
I mean, yeah, in the beginning, definitely it was like just rolling with the punches and reading the room and reading the crowd. I mean, it's also like the challenging part, I want to say, because like, yeah, we're touring, we're playing out of town, but like, we're not touring like 5 times a month, you're playing here and there, but most of our gigs are in the same city, different venues, but the same crowd. It's very, very challenging to keep that crowd interested in your music, because they love your style, they love your music, but if you see Carl Cox 10 times in 3 months, it's just gonna be, it's Carl, I see him every day, like.
Yeah.
So it's like, you don't want to play the same music, you want to try to play some different styles, you want to surprise the audience, because like, people support you, but it's also like, they don't want to see the same set every time, so it's like, it's challenging, trying to make them fall in love with you every time, and then there's different venues. I mean, let's talk locally first, because we all start from there, right? So like, you need to know your venue that you're playing for sure. You need to know your crowd, and like, for example, if we play sound check, you gotta feel the room. Like sound check is like a dark tunnel with a stage, and there's nothing to vibe out. It's only like people there that are for the music, right? So. It's really hard to keep people there. If you play 3 songs that they don't like, they're gonna leave. So it's like you gotta stay on top. And then the room is like that. It wants like bangers, So like you gotta play a certain set there.
So we also talk about it before too, right? We're like, this is gonna be this type of crowd.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So if you play like Zebby's Garden, it's a little more commercial crowd. So it's like up to you if you want to play a little more commercial. Or some people they're like, oh, fuck this, I don't want to play commercial. I mean, I think it's cool to like venture out in different it's like you're a DJ. There's good music everywhere. It can be fun. I mean, as long as you know your sound and you know what you like, I think it's fun. I mean, it doesn't have to be that serious. Sometimes we play disco.
Yeah,
like
old classic house, 90s.
One set we actually played like open format, like out of fun, like last 30 minutes. We started playing like reggaeton and like hip hop, and like we had a blast. Like Coco Jumbo we were playing. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's the only time Misha was okay with me playing Coco Jumbo in the middle of the set.
I mean, it's like it's like not that serious, like it's all music and it's fun. It's fun to change it up because like also think about like everybody's doing the predictable thing, right? It's like if it feels right, just do it. I mean, that's my advice. What do we have next?
Next is the actual part that people want to see, the playing part.
Oh, okay.
So maybe we can just
Well, also we can say like how do we start the sets? Like
yeah.
kind of like that's the next one, right?
Yeah, who starts? How do we start? So we can kind of maybe we can even just maybe you can bring one in. And we can kind of start like that. So yeah, we have a couple things. We figured out kind of part of our formula. One of them is I always have to stand on the left and Misha has to stand on the right. I think one time I stood on the right and it was like a really bad. It just nothing felt right the whole game. And like because you'll see I'm the bigger one obviously, so like I'm always having to move around Misha. But on the right side, it didn't make sense. So that's one rule. And then usually like Misha will be the one who starts the sets most of the time, unless I'm really feeling like, bro, I got it. And then he because we also really trust each other. Like if someone is like, dude, we got to do this, like we're down for it, Unless
that's one of the important aspects to mention that you need to trust the person that you're playing with. If they're like trying to experiment with something, like make them feel good about it. Support them. Don't just like be like, oh, okay, he's fucking up. Like let me just so people know it's not me fucking up. Like, right? And
everyone has this.
About making mistakes and part of me French. Making mistakes in DJing. Just don't stress yourself about it.
They happen.
I used to stress so much about it. I would make one mistake and I would think my whole set about it. Like while I'm playing, it's it's fun. And then
because we fuck up all the time with each other but we're like we also take a lot of chances when we play together. Because I know if I fuck up, Misha's there to like Misha's so consistent. Yes, right. Misha's Misha's like a fucking bullet train, so consistent, and I'm just a wild card. And that's literally why this works for some reason. But yeah, I just know if I fuck up or I know if he fucks up, it's like we've been in the scenario so many times where we just know how to recover. And we'll probably, I think.
I mean, it's like the risk and the reward, right? If you take more risk while you're playing a set and do more power mixes and do some stuff that's unorthodox. When you hit those mixes, crowd is gonna go crazy, and they don't know it's really important as a DJ to be unpredictable because after 30 minutes, if your every mix is the same and every song is the same, it's like even if it's good track selection, people are gonna get bored. No matter how good it is, you need to go up and down. You need to give them something. You need to throw them off, right? I mean, at least that's our perspective. What was I going to say?
Maybe we should start mix again.
Yeah.
So we'll just kind of start mix again and talk about scenarios. I think that's kind of the best way to go about this because
also beginning of a set, right? First track kind of announces your set, right? There's few routes you can go. Sometimes we decide to pick a big track that's gonna announce a powerful set.
Misha always likes to start with hammers.
I like to start with a really big track.
Which is no pressure for me, right? Because how hard is it to follow up with a really big song, when you're not warmed up at all?
But sometimes we have some DJs that play really high energy and are all over the place.
Yeah, that happened on Sunday, right? So it's we just kind of came in a little more chill. When someone's going hot, you got to bring it down a little bit. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think a big thing with me personally is I don't care about the first song, I care about the third song. So it's like first 2 songs you're getting adjusted. You got to get all your shit together, get used to the monitors. Like I've been doing this. Whoa, that's good luck. There you go. But yeah, so many ways to come in it. But typically with Misha, we always come super hot.
So basically, the way I like to start a set is like I like to like build it up slow, create some tempo.
Okay, cool. I mean, the main thing is, guys, control. Like, whatever you do, like, always be in control of your music. Like, we'll show, like, as we go, but, like, believe in it, make people stop what they're doing, their drinks and stuff, and, like, make everybody look at you like, oh, is this guy fucking up? And then you drop the beat, and everybody's like, wow, let's go. So, like, believe in what you're doing, like, take a little bit longer sometimes, you know, like, just control it. Sometimes sit on a loop, like, we'll go into that.
Right now, you've got the iPad up. Okay, cool. All right, he just started the set. Right, so the question is when you're back to back, what the fuck do you do when other guys play, right? You gotta do a couple things. One, you should be looking for all the next couple tracks you want to play. So like you should be cycling through and looking for shit like if you're gonna be playing in the back to back, like you should both be fucking working the whole fucking time. Like we're big opponents on that. That's why we only do him and I only do 1 track to 1 track. None of this 2-track bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, there's like DJs that do like 3 tracks each.
No, that's 15 minutes, dude. It's 12 minutes.
It's too boring. I mean, we're like very like hands-on.
Yeah.
We do like I play 1 track, he plays 1 track, which is the hardest because you gotta play off what he's playing, right? You gotta follow the vibe, you know.
Yeah. So maybe I'll kind of show what we can tweak it. Maybe show what we can build up together, right?
Okay.
So we're gonna show what we do and build up together when we're back to back together.
Oh yeah, just go with it. So you gotta make it see it, right?
Yeah, but they just don't know what we can So yeah, there's 2 sections. So like to keep in mind, like you have to be aware of his space and like what you're doing. Like typically, like you have to remember there's 2 sets of effects on the mixing board, and a lot of people don't really actually think about this. And what sounds cool is not when you do 1, but when you do 2. Like when you rub your back. I think one time I did like we talked about this and how important it is. No, but this is really it because this is literally that. So you can do 2 things, but you can do more complex shit when you're back to backing. Right?
Yeah. So I mean, it's like it gives you have 4 hands on deck, right?
Yeah.
So,
but also knowing like, okay, like when he's gonna do, like I have to be, he's leading because it's his track, right? So I'm kind of just following along with him. We're not both leading, you know?
we try to throw some spice on it, you know, make it interesting. Maybe throw an extra layer, a loop. Like in this case, for example, we're going into the breakdown. So, I mean, it's pretty basic stuff we're going to do here. Like, filter and reverb. Layer. Why over there?
Okay, so that was a little more dynamic, right? So the next thing I'm going to show that we do is layer, other layer. Like another thing you can do is like, you want to do this weird, on layer, another layer. Yeah, like, you know, like you're doing the action on the spring. This is what you do whenever right? So like, on this next part, what's going to happen is it's going to be a build up. Oh, sorry. Right there, sorry. So on this next section, what we're going to do is, it's going to talk over. What is it? So basically what's going to happen is on the next build up, I'm going to layer like a random part of my track on top of him. And then when it's starting to build up, I'm going to bring it down. And then I'm going to start my song on a different spot. So I can keep things rolling and like have all these weird different sounds and stuff. So yeah, let's see how it sounds.
You know, I'm going to talk to you something about the feeling, natural born grooves. You know, that's what we get from tonight. Strawberry and we are grooving.
Did that make sense at all? Okay, I think if anyway, does it make sense for you guys to stand and watch over us? Or no, it just, do you think it would make sense? Do you guys prefer to sit there and watch? Or do you want to stand on like over us and watch? Is there Oh, you can see it? Okay, cool. Okay, I didn't realize. Sick. Yeah.
So one day.
Yeah.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Am I being called?
Yeah.
Hey, so I'm curious, if you're going back to back, are y'all mixing in key, or is that a thing you're thinking about, or are you just more getting things in with?
Great question.
Oh, thank you.
No, it is a great, because only one of us really is mixing key, and not even just his fucking. That's good. Why don't you talk about it?
Great question. Yeah. So I mean, I think like it's also like very like depending on the genres you're playing. Obviously, like if you're mixing key, the tracks are gonna sound better together. I think it's especially important for techno because like the bass lines and the low ends are so powerful. and it's like, I mean, I don't really mix in key at all for like tech house and minimal tech, but for techno lately, I've been paying more attention to it because it does make a difference.
Yeah.
Because it's just like so powerful and like you can hear the difference when you mix out of key. You know? I mean, it's like you can still hear a good mix, and it's like it's just more challenging. You know, sometimes you gotta wait longer until you bring in the track. You know, it's also everything depends on your style of mixing. You know, the way you bring in the tracks. When do you bring in the tracks?
You ever mixed in key to me?
No.
Yeah.
No.
You heard it here first. I knew it.
But it's like it's also you can hit some amazing mixes.
Yeah.
And you do stuff because it's breaking the rules or bending the rules, and it's rules are cool, but it's also good to break the rules and like venture out and try. I mean, we don't mix in here, we're like, you know, you do, but
So like when Misha drops a hammer and I go, oh fuck, like usually because Misha's got so many diamonds in his, like I have diamonds too, but sometimes he pulls up this one that checks all the boxes and I'm like fuck dude, I was like, because like typically the way at least I have like a check down system with how I pick tracks. I go first, there's a song that pops in my head, you should always go with that song. That first one is usually it. Fuck mixed in key at that point. Because like generally like a lot of our best mixes, like you're better off picking songs with like similar vibes and sounds than you are playing songs that are in key. And that's a fact. And like they won't ever tell you that, but I've learned in my experience, it works a lot. Like that's why in hip hop clubs a lot of the times they can go to thing called just sometimes going, you know what I mean? Like it's just like the tracks make sense stylistically together.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know if I like. It depends. Like when we're on a roll, we're not using mixed key at all. I can assure you. I'm usually the one who uses it more.
I mean, the way I go about it, like if he plays the song, and I'm trying to compliment that song, I just follow my gut. I'm like, okay, I hear these elements.
It's always the best
in the song, and I think like this song would go. You know, I just kind of follow my instinct, honestly.
That's by far the best way.
And it usually works. I mean,
so a big part of that too sounds like know your tunes really well.
Absolutely,
Too. So
absolutely. It's I mean, there's gigs where you can you have time to like explore the music.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, which is also we can segue into like preparation and the way you get your music and the way you organize your music. We can talk about that. Everybody has a different system.
Yeah.
And there's no right or wrong. It's like you need to pick a system where. Okay. Yeah, you need to pick a system that works for you, that like is gonna make sense for you, and that you're gonna be able to find songs. I mean, my system is chaotic. I put 500 songs in the playlist for the gig, and then I just go off of that. If it's like a more important gig, like something like, I would kind of like do it like thirds. I would do like opening section and I put like 50 songs there, and like I would put like peak time, all my like biggest tracks that I want to like kind of have the crescendo of the set, and then closing. I only like to know my opening and my closing track usually before a set. That's only thing kind of that I plan. Usually just the opening, and I put like 3-4 that I think would be like a really nice moment to close out the set.
I didn't think that would do it.
Yeah.
And I mean, just preparation. You need to know your music. Some gigs, if I play like a longer set and it's like not like a high pressure gig, I will like, okay, there's this folder of 500 songs. Let me get to know this music that I downloaded. It's been collecting dust here for a while, so it's cool. But yeah, you need to know, especially like every song has like something interesting, like in a breakdown or like breaks or like some section that's weird, and like the more you know it, you will be more comfortable with it, and you will be able to do cool stuff like cut out the beats. And
So with that in mind, when you're sharing on a back-to-back, are there times where you say to the other person, like, don't fucking bring your track in before it gets to this part of the track?
Yes.
Like, how does that
Douchey DJs will usually, we've been trying to figure this one out actually. Why don't you say? Because I'm going to say the wrong thing.
Is your question like,
I'm getting incriminated for it.
I just want to make sure I understand the question. Are you asking
like sometimes when I play with this guy,
okay.
I may be really excited about the track that I'm playing, but there's a part that's coming up that he doesn't know my track.
Yeah, exactly.
So we don't want to like step on
Right.
each other's toes
No,
and
it's
parts,
Okay,
like-
so I think rule number one that some DJs don't know, and I played back to back with them and they frustrate me so much.
Yeah.
It's like you let the main drop happens. Like that's like rule number one. Like in back to backs, like you don't. If he's playing a song and like there's three breakdowns. Like the second one is the main one, right? You mix in after that drop. Unless he tells me, hey bro, mix in whenever, which happens because which is also really important part of back to back is communication, and I think we're like really good at because like.
But what is mixing? Mixing whenever with us is a loaded term, right? What does it mean? Is one, I don't like this song.
It means I don't like this song,
B,
or
you
it
don't like
didn't fit with the crowd,
Yeah.
like they're not feeling it, and we don't want to listen to 4 more minutes of this.
Yeah, and be stuck
So
in
like let's fix it right away. Let's not dwell on it and like just save me, bro. Basically, it's me, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's really important. I mean, to not lose that energy. I'm not just saying like in terms of like energy gotta be high. Of course not. There's like different sets, but it's like you don't want to lose that consistency of your mixes. And if you do, it's fine. But it's fuck ups happen all the time. It's normal. I always say to myself like, yeah, we're just playing music. We're not brain surgeons. Like it's fine if you fuck up. Like, but like it's more important how you recover. Honestly, you know.
Yeah, we're big on. That's a huge for us. Like we don't care when a DJ fucks up. We care how a DJ recovers. Like that's big for us.
Yeah.
And we really judge so many DJs off that because for me, when I see DJs that like don't fuck up in a set, I'm like, he didn't try. He wasn't experimenting. He wasn't trying hard enough. Like I used to love Laid Back Luke because he used to fuck up all the time. Now it's too perfect and too like on the dot. I'm like, where's it? Like if everything feels like it's been so practiced. So you know, when each of us fuck up, like one of us will always be like, bro, my bad. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
Why you just say, bro, my bad? You go, bro, don't worry about it. Okay, what's another thing we could talk about?
I mean,
Oh, sorry, questions. Yeah, please.
go for it.
So you were saying about always mixing after the main drop. Is there times where you mix in at the breakdown? So
All the time.
bring in like the next track.
Okay, so to answer
space instead of the drop.
that, why don't we do the drum filter thing we do when it's a long breakdown? You know, like when you have a long breakdown and I'll have the filter, like I'll do the filter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean,
It's a good question.
we start. Let me get the mic. Can you guys hear me already?
You're tall, bro. I'm like on the floor.
I mean, when we start the sets, like usually it's like, I mean, we'll save for mixing until we get warmed up, like first 15, 20, 30 minutes. Once we get into our groove, I mean, it's just flowing, honestly. And we use all 4 decks. We have like, so we would have like track that's going, and then we would have a loop, like 8 or 4 bar loop that's complementing the track. If we get a loop that's nice, and then he will bring in a third track, like under filter, for example, and like bring it in. And like if you like the highs, we just keep the highs. You know, it's like we're kind of trying to like find the perfect combination of sounds by like fixing like the mid, high, and low, right? I mean low just to keep one up. And then fourth one also, it might be a loop that we like from a previous track or like from a new track, or it might be a cappella that we're gonna layer on top. This gives you more tools.
But to kind of, sorry.
But yeah, we definitely like, we bring in new tracks before breaks also, but we let the drop happen, you know, like I had back-to-backs where like the person will like keep killing my song on the break. And I'm like, come on. And then like 5 times in a row, I'm just like, okay, it's just not fun, you know? So I think, you know, it's like, as long as the communication is there between you guys, it's fine. I mean, you know.
But like you're saying in terms of like where are good, I think to pinpoint the question is you're asking when are good points to mix, and do you ever mix on the mix down or the breakdown, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the one thing I mentioned earlier is like always, I think it's like important when you back to back to always stay busy. Like you got to keep working on yours. I always think in my head it's a stock. So I'm like,
How can I make the stock better? Oh, I got more tracks in my hopper. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. Oh, I'm gonna add a layer here. Oh, I'm gonna like do that. Oh, you know what I mean? It's like I'm always thinking about the stock. I just love money, I guess. But, so one thing that I'll do with him to stay busy is like he'll go to the. Can you go to the breakdown real quick? It's like one thing I'll do is I like. You don't want to like mix your frequencies on top of his, right? But I'll try and do things that are sweeping that's in there underneath them. So I'll use a low pass. Everyone always uses a high pass filter. So everyone uses a high pass filter. Like I use the low pass filter all the time. So I'm gonna show kind of on this one, right? So check it out. I'll show you. You hear this layer, right? So I'm gonna do that underneath him. Let's keep his shit a little more tight. Now my track at the beginning is so fun. Cool? That make more sense? Yeah, you guys are a little different. Did that answer the question? Yeah. But you can kind of mix low behind him at all times. At least I try to. But then like when it's don't swap his bass line until his main bass line drops the main time. That's the big thing. I think, does that answer the question? There's a lot of times. I mean,
it's also important to like the track has got to be complementing each other, you know.
Yeah.
And that's like the tricky part when playing it back to back, because some track has a big breakdown that cuts out right away and everything stops and it's like a moment.
Yeah.
He doesn't know that, so I gotta tell him like, yeah, the break cut everything. Because if you lose the layer, it's gonna ruin the whole purpose of the break, right?
But what Misha actually does is he puts his finger on top of my volume. Am I wrong? I knew it. I never said it until this moment. He puts his fucking sausage in front of it, so I can't move it. But I just know I shouldn't do anything.
I mean, that's like you gotta communicate what you want to do in the moment, you know. And it's like a lot of the professional back-to-backs. It's like when I'm doing my break and my build-up and my song, he moves and it's just me, right? And then I like give him the space. But we are comfortable with each other, so we like cross over into each other's tracks because we kind of know like what's our role, you know. But it's important to let the other person, like, you know, do their artist thing and like create what they want to do. And you know, I think it's important to talk like, how do we adjust to like when like somebody has a bad night, right?
Yeah, like dude, there's so many times where like Nisha's hot that night and I'm not really feeling it, or vice versa, or like usually what tends to actually happen is Misha will start off hot. Either I'll start off hot or Misha will start off hot, and then the other one will, and then we'll both like lull, and then we'll both like come together and slam it. But it's like, you know, when it happens, like you gotta talk. Like I think one time it was like, not to like say it in a bad way, but El Techo, like you weren't feeling it at the beginning. I was like, bro, take a minute, smoke a cigarette, and then but dude, because it was hot. Because it was hot. Oh, Misha, yeah.
That's usually my.
Okay, so Misha's can I say your Achilles tendon? His issue is he overheats. so like me, the heat doesn't bother me. I can deal with it. But like I can tell, Misha will never say it's a problem. But like I can tell when he's sweating a bottle of Gatorade. No, but it was funny on Sunday. One of the stepping guys was spanning me. And I was like, "You're wasting your time. Give it to me." Put it on Misha. Did it help though?
Yeah, for a
little
second.
bit.
I thought I was gonna break the equipment with my sweat, bro.
But this is communication again, right? He's my partner, and it's like, dude, like, I don't want Misha to do bad, like, because I want him to do well, because it makes me do better, you know. And it's like, it's again that love and that desire to make your entity want to be as best as it is, and not thinking about yourself. Like I think if there's one thing any of you guys can take away, it's really that at the end. Like you have to love and trust and want to do something better. Of course, you get thrown into back-to-backs. Like, hey, you're at an after party, everyone's fucked up. Do it. It can be annoying, but like like when you want to build a true, proper back-to-back relationship, like I think that's important. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's also. Wait, do I need this? Yeah, sure. Yeah. It's also important to like.
Oh, you're like.
Hello. Yeah, it's also important to like praise each other, you know, like if I see him hit a good mix or like play a good track, I'm like, nice mix, bro, like let's go, like
yeah.
I hype him up, he hypes me up, and it's like it means a lot because like as you guys know, like I'm guessing most of your DJs, it's like it's not easy being a DJ. It's like you stand like in a room full of people looking at you, and they're all feeding off every little detail of you. Like it's your body language, it's the music that you play, it's the way you look at them. It can be scary, but it can be amazing, right? Yeah. So like it's basically on us to determine how's that like. And like I had nights when like my energy is strong in general. So like I had nights when I wasn't feeling it, and I just made the whole room like dark, man, because like I was just like. But like when you're feeling it, then like you gotta keep the energy, you gotta receive the energy. Wait, what was the point of all this?
The saying that.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. It's also it's more important when like if you're not on a roll or like. Sometimes you're lost during your set and like you're not kind of. I mean, I get this problem sometimes. Like I'm not sure which direction I want to take, with my sound, So it's like that. Then it's important like to talking between each other and like kind of like just like figure out what the problem is and just like recover. What else?
And having fun, man. Like I have the best time with Misha. Like I would not want to do. Like I've been in like groups and shit before, but Misha's like one of the few people that like he like, for lack of a better term, completes me. Like I'm such a prick and asshole sometimes, and I'm such a prick and asshole sometimes. I'm such a dick sometimes that like sometimes I lose sight of it because my issue is like it's like great because like Misha's got an old soul with DJing. Like I'm very like overly technical sometimes. Misha like does shit. And I'm like, why the fuck did you do it like that? And I'm like, wait a minute, that was genius, So it's like, being open to learning and like picking that up from one another, I think is just so important. Yeah, what's next? Any questions? Let's see what else we got. How do you start, build up? Man, what happens when it's a good what happens when it's a good song? What's it a bad song? Yeah, what do you do while I'm working? Like tell them some things that you do like if I'm mixing.
I mean, lately, what we've been doing, like, usually, I think it's very good. I mean, yeah, you have your playlist. Unless you're a DJ, like I had some friends, they literally know song per song that are going to play. They have entire set planned out. I think that's super boring. But, like, everybody's different. We do, like, tag a lot of, I do like to tag tracks, top right corner. Just to put tracks in the playlist that I want to play for sure.
Yeah, do you guys use that tag button at all? That tag button is
it's
huge.
very helpful.
It's
especially
huge.
when you're out of like
it's such a pro button. Because like when you're back to backing with someone, you'll see the track, like I know this track's hot, but it doesn't make sense right now, but I'm gonna come back to it. And it's just so important to keep, because bro, like by the end of the set, like my tag track section is disgusting. Like, no, I'm sure it's just all bomb, 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 bomb. Like it's a certain type of vibe. It's like, it's sick. And one time Misha was in the set with me and he had 100 tracks in his tag list and I thought it was mine and I didn't have space, so I deleted it. Was that was a year ago from next week?
But yeah, I mean, basically, definitely find the next track. I try to find like, I mean, nothing crazy, honestly. It's just like kind of determining what's the vibe of the set gonna be. I like to layer acapellas on top and then like cut them and play with that and create some cool moments. We use the RMX a lot. It's a very powerful tool. Like the drum machine is cool, and then like the effects and like there's a lot of great stuff on it that like really helps you with building the moments, and like it's really, I think what's really important is like being in control and being able to create a moment out of anything, any part of the song, you know.
Oh, should we show that?
For example, yeah, we can. Basically, like I'm literally bringing a new track in, and the track is like 45 seconds in. It's like before a first bass line. I'm gonna loop that song and bring in another layer, and then I'm gonna filter them both and layer a cappella on top, and then I'm gonna do the RMX drum machine, and I'm gonna sit on those two loops for like 30 seconds, and I'm gonna create a whole nother build-up, and then I'm just gonna drop into the new bass line, and it's gonna be a great moment. Like, and it's just the way you brought in a new song, you know. So like for one DJ, it's like, oh, I'm just mixing a new bass line, and you can take it to the next level and create a drop on it. That's gonna make people like go crazy, you know, create a really cool moment.
You want to, maybe we can do that. Maybe you can do a section with the bass line and we can show them how we would do it up. And
Like, I mean, yeah,
Wanna
you
try
don't
that?
have like the RMX and stuff.
I'm curious in that scenario if like you're like mixing out and that's when you do all of what you just said, like three tracks.
So for example, I mean,
like, there's kind of sometimes I think what kind of happens with each of us when we both do this is it drops and it didn't happen how we liked it to happen. So we're so stubborn that we're like, we're gonna make this fucking work. I mean, at least in my head, that's how I'm like, dude, I'm gonna make this fucking work, right? And then like we'll just make the moment kind of work like that. It sounds complicated, but basically all we're doing, bro, is looping a section, putting effects, using filter, adding an extra element, and then me being the back-to-backer, like maybe adding something else on top of that and having something to complement
it
it.
goes back a lot to like,
I was curious about like the interaction in those moments, right? Like how much of it is like he's doing all this, I'm gonna let him chill and do it.
Yeah, there's definitely
I'm gonna layer in.
when Misha goes like this, bro, I know. like Popeye showed up. I'm like, I just touched the filter.
I mean, there's obviously moments in a set when you're like feeling it.
Well, yeah,
like,
and you gotta
like,
recognize
I'm
it.
rocking this, like I cannot be stopped, and like
Yeah.
then you let the other guy, like you just like ride off that vibe. You're just like complimenting.
But yeah, like you know, like just go on like as if you were like gonna like I just know like if he's there like and he's feeling it, doing it, like I don't want to reach around too much and do shit. You know what I mean? Like, but you'll see. Like, I think what time is the first DJ come on?
9:30. But
9:30.
9. Push it a
We
little
started
bit.
late.
Yeah, maybe
You want to
9:30.
maybe
I'm
I'm
gonna
thinking,
join in the class.
no,
I
it's
mean,
cool.
let's do
Well,
let's do the type of mix, for example.
We'll do well, we can do the type of mix, and I think maybe we should DJ for like 20 minutes so people can kind of see. Unless is there more that we need to talk about?
I mean,
Or we'll go there. Let's show the mix first.
yeah, let's show this.
Yeah.
For example.
Are you gonna bring an acapella too?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is funny for us because like we don't ever practice or talk about it, but it's always like in the moment. It happens to cue about.
So you know.
How often do you guys actually play back to back with somebody new? You guys typically do a lot together, right? Just do like speed.
I mean, we play once or we play like maybe once or twice a month together every month, right?
Oh, with other people, she knows.
No, but I'm saying that's what we do first, and then like
Yeah.
that's how much we do. So
Are you more likely to take a back to back thing, or would you prefer just to do a solo?
I mean that's good. I
Take the mic.
yes, sir. Why don't you answer first? Because I say shit the wrong way.
Did you ask, do we prefer to play solo or together?
How do you accept
Most of the time you play either solo or together, right?
Yeah.
But how often do you guys actually play with somebody new?
I mean, I would say I play kind of often. I mean, there's like few people like Sagira, Ashish, like we do our techno sets and like.
You know him very well.
Yeah. I mean, Nabil, like I play with him and we do like the more like deeper stuff and like it's also very cool because our styles are very different and it's really cool to like play something
It's good.
else.
Would
Yeah.
you, I guess my point is, like, if someone said, hey, I want you to go back to back with this person you've never played before, would you be hesitant to say
That
yes?
never played before?
I
You've never
mean,
played together.
Oh,
it all depends, honestly. There's a lot of factors. There's got to be a certain standard to that person, like the level of DJing that like, it's like,
no
it
rookies.
may sound like cocky, but like, I mean,
No,
if
no
you're
rookies,
messing
bro.
around at a house party,
That's
like
different.
Of course.
with everybody, like it's like fun and like
Yeah, you have to.
it's cool to like show people something and like I mean, we're not the best DJs or anything, but it's cool to show somebody that like is coming up like I wanted people to show me. I want to do that now, like, if I can, you know. It's cool, but like for a show, I'm very picky because like I have a specific sound and like a specific style and like and we mix really fast and like I mean there's like just a certain style that we do and like it's very frustrating
Yeah.
if I wait 5 minutes for a person to like mix in a song and like we keep losing the energy. It just frustrates me and it's like it's gotta be a certain level definitely.
So
If
you-
we do.
you
It's gotta
probably-
make sense, you know.
You probably have practiced with them maybe at a house party before, realize you guys have a
Yeah.
chemistry and could do it together.
You know the chemistry.
I
Like,
mean like with Fatima we did a show, we never practiced, we just did a back to back for the first time. And it took us like 30, 40 minutes to like find the middle ground where we meet our styles and then we played pretty good I think. But yeah, it definitely takes a little bit to like find each other and like, you know, what's complementing each other's style.
Yeah, what he said. No, I mean, I'm like, I'm really picky. Like, someone when they have their slot and then I'm playing, they go, hey, do you want to back to back right when it's starting? I go, fuck no, dude. Don't be that guy either. In general, I mean, I don't know. It all depends if it's fun. Like, so sometimes I'll do like, for charity events, I'll do anything. Like what the funnier, the most different, it depends on the event. Like if it's like an important club, because like also it's your brand too, and like we can't be next to someone who's like there's this one guy I had to stop back to backing with. I'm not gonna say his name. He wouldn't record box his fucking tracks, and like I told him how to do it, and he refused to. And he didn't take it personally, like take it seriously. And I was like, I can't do this anymore, you know. But like you know, if it's someone talented, like you know, I would never go into the blank and back to back with someone, right? I'd at least have to have a conversation with them or know their style, you know? What is it? Like, for instance, like, what is it? This guy Deeper Purpose came to town. He plays my tracks. We communicated. We went to dinner. And then one of the guys was like, have you guys ever back to back? He's like, no, but we should try it tonight. But like, we knew we were cool because stylistically we do similar types of tracks and we talk and we communicate. And I know what he does and what I do, you know? But like, you know, people are always going to ask to back with you, especially if you're, for lack of a better term, like more vertical than them. I hate talking about things like that. But like, you know, you got to respect yourself at the end of the day in your talent, your career. And if the person isn't necessarily at your standard and you really don't believe that, I don't think you should really do it. Don't do any favors for anyone because they can make you look, just like they can make you look good, they can make you look bad too. Is that fair to say? It's kind of dark.
I mean, I think it's important to like know like where you kind of stand as an artist. You wanna like, there's nothing wrong with like trying to reach out and like trying to play with people and like share the music, but it's also like gotta make sense. It doesn't make sense for me to go and call Carl Cox and say, hey bro, like are you ready to back to back? Like come on, like
nobody's opening for Carl Cox.
I mean, it's like. That's like the hard part because a lot of people, they don't kind of have those like social cues and they like overstep their boundaries and then they're like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with asking, but it's just gotta make sense, right? I mean, I think people like we're all like trying to make it as an artist and we're trying to like break through and like get more gigs or get our music played or released for the labels. You gotta fight, you gotta hustle, right? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You just gotta do it in a respectful way, in the way that makes sense, you know? It's like, you can't just push people, you know.
Was there another question? think so. Whatever.
Yeah, do you guys organize your music depending on gigs, or you guys just go with the flow because you know each other so well, or?
So we just had this conversation too because both of our record boxes are chaos right now. But typically, I think the best way to go about it is so I have a little more structure in my playlist. Like I have vocals, techno, this and that. I don't think you have any playlists like that, right? Not, maybe going into a gig, but you don't have like a master one for like techno, do you? Wait, for techno you do.
I had it like, but I didn't use it.
Yeah, I mean I don't really use mine anymore.
Can I ask a question about that? Like, do you guys organize your playlists like what you said, like by genre, like subgenre, or like moments?
We used to do subgenre. Now it's kind of more like okay, like the way I like to think about it, because I've been so overly technical and I've been really trying to dumb down my process.
Yeah.
Because like I think it's just better artistically, and it's just like I try to think of okay, this event is like a soundtrack to a movie, and I'm like okay, the soundtrack of the movie, like it's my job. They're paying me to pick the songs for this movie. You know, like Night at the Roxbury, right? Like I actually think of Zebby's nightclub as Night at the Roxbury. I'm like, this is, I swear to God, dude, come tomorrow night, you'll hear it.
This was a good song, man.
Wait, I have it. So yeah, like I kind of think of it like that. I'm like, okay, and you know, I'm always like, here's what I would do. Here's things that make sense to the movie. And kind of go off that. I'm like, oh, I'm also playing with Misha. Like these are gonna work well with Misha. Like Misha has like a little more of a tribally backbone, a Latin backbone. So yeah, does that answer your question? I really just try and I do have a master list, and it's good. It's good as you get your main playlist. I think so. So my whole library just got corrupted for the record, so I have to like restart everything. Yeah, 5,000. It's all good, but I have to restart. But like what I'm doing now is 8 folders on certain types of all 8 different vibes, and then whatever the club gig is that night, and that's how I organize my music now.
Jeremy.
Would you have another question?
Yeah, and whenever you guys play each other like in different gigs, like by itself, like do you guys like feel like, oh, I wish they was here or something like that, or you guys are like
If they what?
Like whenever you guys play in different gigs, like when you're playing like in this place, you're playing in another place, like you guys like, oh, I wish Misha was here to like have this set with me or something.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know. I know how he feels about me.
I mean, it gets confusing sometimes, honestly, because like we back to back a lot, and we really like we have different style when we play alone and like together, and like sometimes it confuses me, honestly. Like
We had to stop back to back.
we had one time we like had to stop for like a couple of months because I'm like, man, this is confusing when I play alone.
Me too.
I like don't feel as secure.
Yeah.
And like we're not a duo, we're solo artists, but we like to play back to back together. But like we were playing so often that I had like a show. I was like, I didn't feel myself playing alone. Like, and then
Yeah, it was like
fun
really,
after,
it was like
but,
really hard to. We were both like, dude, it was so hard to play by ourselves. It was weird,
Yeah,
and we felt like we're being too almost dependent on one another.
yeah, for sure.
Not anymore.
Not give you that look.
No, you didn't give me that love. But he's got a lot of love to give with him. I think. I mean, I don't know. Is there anything else?
We wanted to show the mix, right?
Well, oh yeah, the whole build-up thing. Is there any other questions before we do this? Yeah.
So you guys prefer performing alone or together, or it's just kind of like the vibe?
I think both. I think, yeah. I mean, Nisha and I talked about this. Like, I'm a really big comic book nerd, and I was telling him, I was like, bro, the Avengers work together on every single fucking comic book. I was like, you know, Thor's got to go do his thing and go find his new axe, and Iron Man's got to do his thing. And bro, like him and I, like, have grown so much, like because we do like to do certain things. Like, I've been in a duo before, and I got really frustrated because, like, creatively, the other person didn't want to do exactly what I want to do, and that's okay. Like, but like, you know, like with this scenario, like he does his thing, I do my thing. We have a great gig. We're like, let's get in the fucking studio. Like, it's really natural and organic. Like, but like, I think it's just so important to like do what you want to do artistically on your own. You know, like I think that's just really important. And then, you know, the big moments. Like, I feel like Misha and I wrote the best 2 tracks like that like we've ever written together a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like, and it was like, and we hadn't written together for like a month and a half at that point, right? But we came back with a vengeance and fucked that shit up. It was sick.
Yeah.
For the last part of the class, we get everyone to come stand close so
Yeah. Sure.
you guys can enjoy the rest, and we're gonna move the stuff out of the way.
Yeah,
So
sure.
come closer, everyone get up.
that are in these here.
Yeah, thank you guys. This is pretty.
Oh, yeah? We're gonna no, we're taking it. You guys go to class.
What up? What's up?
Should we do like
I have a quick question.
Other thing? Yeah.
Where do you guys stand on the sync button?
We use it.
I don't use it. I use it like this, for example, like I'll use it like when I need to fix the BPM. I think like it's fine to use it if you're good without using it. Like if you're not depending on it,
Right.
it's fine. I honestly don't trust the sync that much.
It falls off a lot.
That's why I don't use it. Like I'll use it like sometimes like for a quick like fix of the BPM. Like this track is
Yeah, it's drifting a
128,
little.
this one is 130. I'll do a sync or like, but like I don't depend on it. Like I honestly don't trust it.
Yeah, I mean,
But
like,
I think it's like if you're doing multiple, like depends on the setup. Like if you're using like tractor setup, like Paco Suna, Rafa Barrios, Nicole Mudaber, it's like they're using the laptop and the tractor. Like that sync is so dependable, it never falls out. Like it's really good, but it gives. And they use sync there, but they use like the pedals with effects and the Ableton push. So like it just gives you more space for creativity. So like it's fine, honestly, you know, because like you know how to mix without the sync. So this way, when you're not worrying about like fixing, you can actually let me do a drum loop here. Let me bring in like a loop of like melodic loop here. It just gives you more space to be creative. I think it's fine.
We do have a crew shit talking thing with sync though. We say if you're on 2 decks, you're not allowed to use sync. If you're on 3 or 4 decks, you can use sync, but you better have a good fucking reason for doing it. Right? You know, because like if you're gonna use it, like the whole idea of it is to take time away, like for you to focus on stuff. But if you're not doing other shit, you better just be fucking like because it actually does. I know, like I'm pretty finite with this. It does sound better with it off. Like it feels digitized when it's on. I don't know what it is, but I fucking hear it. Like, but like I know like there's a reason why vinyl sets sound cool even when they're off. There's something about that natural push and pull, you know. But bro, cheat code is turn it on, turn it off, and no one's ever like, no, bro.
I mean, yeah, for a quick fix, right? If you don't wanna.
No, fuck the quick fix, bro. Just I mean,
this is why I don't trust it because like not every track is on the grid,
right?
And not every track is analyzed the same. So like if the track is off grid, the sync is not going to fix it for you, right? So you gotta
that's the red line part, but it's gonna put the BPM correct.
BPM, yeah, but it's not going to align your grids like, or if it's like off beat.
Oh yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you should be using your ears. Like at the end of the day,
Yeah,
you have
absolutely.
to.
I mean, good exercise is to like just put like something so you don't look at the lines matching. Just like
we'll put a paper over and just kind of get used to it.
Just trust your, especially now with like the 3000s, it's super easy because you can see the lines. Like I literally don't need to use the headphones if I'm doing some basic mixing. Like you don't need even use the headphones because it's like using on a laptop. But
so yeah, that's good.
No, we do, but
not as much.
Like sometimes if we're messing around like at a house and it's like 3000s, or it's like this when you can see the grid and you can hear it. But it's fine. But like if you're doing like a proper show and you're mixing 3-4 channels, of course, yeah, we're using headphones.
But about headphones, because I was having this conversation the other day. You should never bring up your fucking faders with your headphones on. You should never. You should only get things in sync with your headphones on, and then listen to the room when you bring it up. Because what might sound halfway in your headphones doesn't sound halfway out in like the actual world.
I mean, I guess it depends the way you're using the headphones. I'm always one ear is I always have a headphone on my right ear, and my left ear is listening to the booth. So
even when you're bringing it in,
no, always, yeah.
That's the art of learning something new.
You don't just use your monitor.
Learn something new about each other.
Well, you do, but like it's so important to hear the space. Like, okay, like for example, a concrete room versus a room with a lot of plants in it sound completely different.
Yeah.
Completely different.
Right.
And for me to bring the volume up in my headphones, you're not gonna hear the difference. So like you should be turning down your treble in a concrete room because of that.
Right.
It's also very important
But that's why I say use
to know the room that you're playing. Like,
well, yeah, but exactly. Use a monitor. Yeah, use a monitor more than the headphone. Yeah, the same. Yeah,
you should also tell them like about like the sound system because you're not always gonna play in a room with an impeccable sound system, unfortunately.
Oh yeah.
So like, it actually determines your style of playing a lot. I think.
I'd agree
Because,
with
like if you play a shitty sound system, playing like minimal tracks with like that would sound amazing on Function One, they're gonna sound like crap on this system, this like rooftop bar that you're playing. So it's gonna make you play more like tracks with like high mids and like like they're like more busy and like the more commercial sounds are like they're like bigger, wider. So it's like it's important to know to adjust to the sound system also, not just the people, And obviously equipment, sometimes it's falling apart, sometimes it's like brand new.
Yeah.
It's.
Someone plug this one in. Wasn't plugged it. Yeah, this one.
If you ever DJ at Burning Man, you know that shit be dust in there and it's whatever.
I mean, we have gigs like the nothing is working, like the effects are not working.
God.
Everything's like
Half your shit
filmy,
don't work,
like the Q button is not working.
Yeah.
Films like films or like the boot monitors were not working one time. Like my ears were destroyed. I played like a 4-hour set just with my headphones. Like it was a lot.
Sorry.
Okay, cool.
Well, I didn't do it.
Film me. Do you want to show up like the build-up kind of thing?
Yeah,
Should we jump into this? Yeah.
Well, let's.
You want me to do it on mine?
Let me start this one. I'll bring this
Oh,
one
okay.
for you. Let's do it the way we do it.
Oh, 121, sorry.
So sometimes, like, the radio is going to loop the beginning of my track. Let's bring it in here. So, for example, here, we're bringing in the new track, right? And like we're doing, the phrasing is actually correct.
Yeah, so like,
Somehow,
somehow.
even though we're doing style on time.
This is the build-up of the other track. This is the other track, right?
So this is what I'm saying. This is what I was thinking earlier when I was saying about controlling the room and controlling your music. It's basically like we're bringing in a track. We're literally at the 40-second mark, so it's not even close to like the biggest part of the song. So what you can do, for example, what I like to do a lot is like I'm gonna loop right before the drop. For example, something like that, right? Like you create a moment, like out of nothing,
But even build it up again, right? So like, let's show another moment thing that we can do. So like, make this into a build up, right? So this is something we'll do. So like, I'm gonna layer an acapella on top of him. While he, so look, you can do so much with just the filter, the reverb, and adding a simple acapella. It's up to you guys know too. So if you want to start like doing a build up and I'll layer this vocals in. Yeah, I mean, is there anything else, dudes? Like, I mean, we could. Sorry, I think
is there any other like sphere?
Anything else you guys want to say?
Is there a classic Rex or classic Misha trick that you guys?
Misha,
I know Misha.
can you guys show the little with the
Oh,
job?
the backspin?
Yeah, the backspin.
Oh, Misha's backspin?
Or
Dude,
yours.
they feel it in China every time he does it. Bro, I tried replicating it the other day and I was like, why can't I do it? And my friend was like, bro, your hand doesn't weigh 200 pounds. Yeah, I'm not like bringing it up all the way. You know?
For example, usually I'll do it like when I'm bringing in a new track, for example. It's a cool way to bring it in. But here, I'll do it with the exiting track, with the old track, basically. So,
Left fourth ladder. Yeah. Bro, so we just go back in time. Feel that? Is it Tuesday?
I fucked it up. No, I forgot to cut it. It worked. I saw this from It's Everything when we were doing back to back. He actually did it like this. And then he brought it back to the drop. It was thick.
Let it
I
take
shouldn't be
press.
showing you this,
Never told me that.
yeah, it's kind of like that.
What's bass that's playing when you're doing the other track, right?
What is it?
The bass that's playing is the other track that,
Yeah.
that you don't pull out.
And you typically don't want the bass in that one when you do it.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
It's a good way, or it's like, those some tracks, they have like a stripped down section where it's just like the low end.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just like the bass and the kick. So like right before you cut it out, it's just like,
Okay.
like a nice moment, It's cool. I mean, I like to use it in those moments, for example.
Yeah,
What else is important? I don't know.
I don't know. Is there anything else?
yeah, we have to wrap up.
Yeah, that's right.
That was amazing.
Guys, thank you so much.
Amazing.
That was sick.
I'd like to take a picture of it.
Yeah, can we take a picture? Yeah, we never, guys, don't tell anyone this shit, by the way. It's our secret.
Secret sauces.
Yeah.
Streaming, you want
This way, if you know, this is that thing.
I mean, yeah, just I don't know, advice, believe in yourself, keep working on your craft, always try to learn more, always try to get better. Seek for knowledge, there's nothing wrong with asking for help, and I mean, I think that's it. Any questions, hit us up. Yeah, man.
Yeah, seriously, hit us up on Instagram. We're gonna talk.
Let's do it.
Can you see us?
That's the question.
No.
This taped in? Oh my god. Yeah. I was like, oh shit.
Please.
I'm so glad I didn't pull any hard.
All right, you guys can do that. 1, 2, 3. Okay, one more.
Pepperoni.
Okay, one more. Time's the charge.
There you go. There you go.
Thank you. That was so you. So you guys. I am so grateful.
Bravo. Plaza.
Hi guys.
You want to go around this side. We're going to take this down.
Hi guys. We want to say thank you.
We're almost done. Okay.
Yeah. And then we were talking about
Hi guys.
Okay, guys.
Okay, guys. We want to say thank you. We want to say thank you to everyone to be here, to be supporting this project, and especially Misha and Rez.
Thanks for having us.
Rez is the second time here. So, it was amazing class, very informative. Rez also is a teacher too.
Yep.
So we always have an amazing class. I take a class with him, and he's a very good mentor.
Better than good.
I'm great.
Say I'm great.
Yeah. He's good. I really appreciate you guys being here.
Of course, we love you. We love you guys are
And
doing.
everyone like make this kind of project possible.
Yeah.
And thank you for doing it. Thank you.
We have
And the baby.
We have a team that always be here to make this possible. And yes, we continue with open decks. Our next leader.
Yeah.
It's Kudra.
Yes. So yeah, our first open deck artist for tonight is Kudra. He's gonna start. Thank you guys for coming and always supporting us. I think you guys one more round of applause.
Thank you guys.
Let's go.
So we should take this down.
Yeah, thanks for having us.